the Arizona Cardinals for 2025. And can we all have like a can we all agree on one thing here? Stop stuff right away. Can we agree on one thing, guys? That the whole Kyler Murray experience is well and truly done. There was, again, I remember I did a video on here years ago talking about Kyler Murray's new deal on when Steve Kerr and Cliff Kingsbury were the head coaches, and they give them like a study clause. Again, if you're given a study clause in your contract, that is the thing is that you're not paying attention on tape. You're not studying the game. You're too busy playing your Call of Duties or your GTA 5s, whatever the fuck people are playing today. I think that I don't play many video games like I used to. But you go into this 2025 season with Jonathan Gannon in his second year, third year, and there was no improvement with his team. And again, he's a defensive-minded head coach. And you look at their approach in this draft. Like, they have the draft approach again was heavily focusing on that defense side of the ball and the offensive line. Like Walter Nolan coming in at defensive tackle from Ole Miss, Will Johnson quarterback from Michigan, Jordan Birch edge from Oregon, Cody Sims inside linebacker from Ohio State. They traded away 2 picks to the Cowboys and then to Denver. Denzel Burke, cornerback from Ohio, and then Hayden Connor, a guard. Again, you're beefing up that offensive line, and then Kilton Crawford, safety from Nevada. So your approach was obviously to beef up that defense with the defensive-minded head coach, which also was needed. You look at the schedule as well. Like, they start off again. They was 2-1 after week 4. Oh no, they was 2-2 after week 4. So again, it wasn't too bad of a start. And then ultimately after week 7, it's 2-5. They go into the bye week, and then the schedule gets really worse. It gets pretty bad. You're on the road. You beat the Cowboys on the road. You lose to Seattle on the road. You lose to the 49ers on the road. You lose in overtime to Jacksonville at home. You lose to the Buccaneers. So again, the only times that you won in the season was opening day against the Saints on the road. You beat and then you beat the Cowboys, and then you beat the Panthers at home. After week 9, it just goes to shit. And after that, you should really fire Jonathan again after week 13 or week 14, at least you should have fired Jonathan again, but you kept him for the rest of the year. I don't know why, but again, the Cardinals are a dumpster fire of an organization. Jonathan Gannon leaves the Cardinals 15-35, 15 wins and only 15 wins and 35 losses. One of the probably worst hires in the last number of years. And even after so many games, like Kyler Murray was just so bad in 2025 that they just benched him for the rest of the year. And then here comes Jacoby Brissett, who again, he's not Jacoby Brissett, he's a decent guy to have as a backup, and he didn't have a bad year. Like, even as a backup, Jacoby Brissett was putting up over 3,000 passing yards, 3,366 passing yards. Trey McBride had over 1,239 receiving. Michael Wilson had a really good. I think Michael Wilson was a standout of this team the entire year. Their defense, though, remember, we've been saying this with a lot of these defensive head coaches, their defense was 29th out of 32. 29th out of 32 with a defensive-minded head coach, which his job is to make sure that side of the ball, that side of the ball should be at least in the top 10 or at least top 7. That, again, his defense was 29th with a defensive-minded head coach. He had to go. He should have gone sooner, but again, the Cardinals don't know what the fuck they're doing. The Kyler Murray experienced guys. Their offense, though, their offense was slightly better, I guess, if you want to say that, 23rd out of 32. They have about $32 million in cap space, so they have a bit of cap space to spend here in the off season. Like I said, Jonathan Gannon got fired. They hired Mike LaFleur, who again is part of that Sean McVay learning tree, which again in recent years has kind of been a hit and miss anyway. Which again, under McVay, like you've had a lot of Raheem Morris and some others that have succeeded, but Mike LaFleur comes in, the brother of Matt LaFleur. So Mike LaFleur gets his first head coaching job. Your defensive coordinator is Nick Roush. He's been around kind of a minute, been in Denver and shit like that. Nathaniel Hack is back. Yeah, Nathaniel Hack, the former offensive coordinator to the Packers. He had that stint in Denver 2-3 years ago, and he's back as the offensive-minded coordinator. They finished the regular season but last in the NFC West, 3-14. So again, you're looking at what does this team need. They have to address the quarterback position, and it's kind of one of them is that they need a quarterback in 2026. But the quarterback class is so weak that do you really want to go and get yourself a quarterback in 2026? Because again, they're not going to get Mendoza. Mendoza is going to go to the Raiders. We all know that. But do you go for do you go like second round for a Ty Simpson? I don't know. Like, this team needs a lot of work. Defensively, they need a ton of work. Like, defensively, last year they needed work. They need it more now. Inside linebacker, outside linebacker, cornerback. They need an edge rusher. They need 4 new starters on that offensive line. On the offensive side of the ball, they need 4 new starters. They need a quarterback. They need a tight end, a wide receiver. They just need to they need to work on the run game. Because nobody got over 1,000 yards in rushing this year for this team, and it's a whole big rebuild for the Cardinals. So if you're a Cardinals fan this season, it's gonna be one of them to buckle up. Maybe you're gonna have to tank even more to get a first round pick, and that's what it is. But again, you do have you have a first round pick. You do have a third. You do have a first round pick, 3rd overall. You have a second round pick, 34th overall. A 3rd round pick, 65th overall, and then you could have later picks as well. But you definitely need to look at defense. You need to look at quarterback, defense, offensive line. But the run game needs to be addressed. Everything needs to be addressed. But again, if you want me to like pick a guy that you should get at number 3, maybe an Arvell Reeves. I know I scouted him 2 weeks ago, but Arvell Reeves at 3. I could see the Cardinals probably going for an Arvell Reeves. If Arvell Reeves comes, if he's the guy at 3, if he comes down the pecking order at 3, get Arvell Reeves. But yeah, I mean, quarterbacks, who could you really get? A quarterback, could you go for Aaron Rodgers for a year? Try with Aaron Rodgers. Maybe you go for a Mac Jones. I know Mac Jones isn't the guy, but for a year, and then you can go have a look at 2027.